Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to One Hub Racing. We are here for a new season. It's new opportunities for some new drivers, and we are starting at a new circuit. We are here for the P2 tier around the ERT Miami Grand Prix here in the United States of America. We are over here in the USA, but it's not the sunny conditions you'd expect in Miami. It is still the slick tyres for the moment, but the first lap times are going on the board now. My name is Evan Dalton, and joining alongside me is Matthew. How are you doing?
I'm hot and sweaty, but I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm excited for the new season, and we're getting the first laps in on the board now. We're a little bit late starting, folks, but welcome along to One Hub Racing. We're here for the new P2 tier season. It's season 21, and it should be a very good one. We have a few guys on our laps now. It's Jay Luke who sets the banker so far with a 27.7 around the 5.412 kilometre Miami Autodrome here, the new circuit to the Formula 1 calendar. We have some more guys starting qualifying laps now. We see a personal fan favourite, Nick, going down the back straight now, heading into the final corner. Of course, Nick was in the top tier last season. He's dropped down one now. His teammate Colin Orr Mason has just gone to second with a 0.360 off the pole time. Here comes Nick across the line. He goes just behind his teammate. It's a second and third for the two Mercedes crew. Chris goes to fourth. He is not a representative lap time on that occasion for him. It will be a second attempt for him. Ken Kimon comes in to the final corner for Scuderia Ferrari, joined alongside Owen Wyatt for this season. Those two will be a force to be reckoned with for the title. We'll have to wait and see. He's fourth on the grid for now, with a very early, hectic opening part of qualifying.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a hectic race as well. If it's anything like the P4 race that was kicking off proceedings here tonight at One Hub, it was a crazy race over there. Of course, it's a new track, so we don't have any previous data to go on. So it's all going to be unfolding before our eyes as to what's going to happen. And yeah, I think I got Larson in the Haas was on a lap, but I think he validated, and he was a little bit held up as well, but never mind that. I have no idea who's next going to be on a lap, because everyone is on different phases of their out laps or in laps. It's a crazy track, and somehow they've made a good one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hectic track. It's a bit up and down. There's fast corners, slow corners. We're looking at ACC on the lap now for Discovery AlphaTauri. Of course, Jay Luke's teammate currently on pole position. We'll have to see what ACC can do. They're heading down towards turn number 11. It is a left-hander. One of the better overtaking opportunities on this Miami Autodrome, you will see. It's we're going to see a few sends up the inside for sure. We'll take a look at the AlphaTauri now through the slow middle sector. Backed off, I believe, on this one. The ERS is slightly low for Akeke, and there is the lift. You can see really tight to the wall there as we stay on board, but we'll go back to some more people on laps. The Haas of Lasse Larsen is on another run in towards the start of the middle sector. That's a very tricky left-hander. Matthew, is there any corners you struggle with tonight? Any ones we should watch out for?
Yeah, the very slow one at the end of Sector 2, beginning of Sector 3. It's kind of like the castle section, but it's a little bit more tricky than that. So that is one I particularly struggled, and I think my setup was wrong because I was struggling through Sector 1 all race long as well. But yeah, those two are going to be very problematic as well for different reasons. Larson's just going up to the problem area for me anyway. It doesn't seem like it flows right. I think someone's just, I don't know, but anyway, he's managed to negotiate that safely this time around. The game says purple sector 2, but what will he do as he comes down the big, long main straight at the back of the track with a little bit of a heavy braking zone before the slightly throwing sweeping, but you need to lift a little bit through the final corner, and there you go. There's the pit lane on the right-hand side. It's a bit of a tricky one, but here we go. Larson is across the line, provisionally quickest, with a third 27.3.
Provisional pole position for the Haasman. Not a bad lap at all. It's 3/10 clear of the top. Of course, this is the top tier with assists, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want no assists, or less assists, apologies, that is the P1 tier. We see Rich for AlphaTauri on an out lap. He'll be looking to set a time up towards the top. What it says on the lap, heading down towards the final braking zone on the circuit. Yellow flags in the final sector for an Aston Martin going slowly. I believe it's just somebody lifting, not an actual crash, as we see what it's saying rounding the left right. It's absolutely flat out in all conditions. across the line, 8th position, about a second off the pole. It's a wide field spread here in the early parts. Owen Wyatt has gone to second with a 1:27.5. Not bad there for Owen Wyatt. Of course, another man who was in the top tier last season, he's dropped down one due to the assists. Very quick man indeed. We'll be keeping an eye on him. He can certainly win a race. He has the experience. He knows what to do. All but 3 representative laps, and Schnicksel has not really set a representative time. He is 10.4 off the pole time. We see Rich on a run now, the AlphaTauri, heading into the quick sector 1. It's a flick to the left in 6th or 7th gear, and then a flick to the right, and then another flick to the left. It's a very tricky sector in the race conditions. Not so tricky in qualifying, as you do have lighter car. That's an invalidation, unfortunately, for Rich. He has invalidated that lap time.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to do that, but it's very easy to do around here. I know that there was a few penalties in the race that you could watch out for later on as well. It's definitely going to be key for track limit, so you could definitely gain a few positions at the end if you keep it as close to the car in front as you can, but definitely do not exceed track limits, even though sometimes you don't have to get a warning. And yeah, so I think the stewards might have a lot of work to do in that case, with the track limits not being quite as defined as we think they should be.
Yeah, the track limits are, well, a bit hit or miss around a new circuit on any F1 game, but Jay Luke is about to go on the lap now, so we're going to stick on board with the AlphaTauri to see what he can do. He drove the AlphaTauri last season in the Pinnacle tier. He's driving the AlphaTauri in the P2 tier, of course. New names for all the tiers here in One Hub Racing. Entering into turn number 1 in 4th gear is Jay Luke, short shifting up to 5th, so he doesn't slide through this turn 3 corner and take a trip to the Rolex advertising on the right hand side. Heading down towards this fast left we were talking about. It's in 7th gear for Jay Luke, the man who set the very first lap of the season in qualifying. He set the provisional banker. He's still 3rd spot with his banker, but he's looking to improve on it now. Down this straight, heading down towards turn number 11. There's a top speed of 324 kilometers an hour around this circuit, but that will be achieved on the other back straight, heading down towards the braking zone of turn 17. This is turn 11, braking just after the 100 meter board, and hook it into the left, and then the slow section, as Matthew was saying. A lot of people will be struggling with it, especially this left-hander up here. That wall approaches you very quickly on the left-hand side. You want to bounce over the curb, but Jay Luke bounces over it a little bit too much and will lose some lap time in that. This is the straight now under the Miami Freeway Bridge, heading down towards turn number 17. It's a late braking zone. We can definitely see someone chuck one up the inside here as there's a yellow flag. That's a slow Mclaren just behind Jay Luke, braking for it. He's almost missed the brakes, but just about hooks it in onto the curb, get the traction down, and he's backed out of that one into the pit lane for Jay Luke. Nick has gone to 3rd while we were talking about that. It's a 27.6 for the ERT man.
Yeah, I was actually on board with Nick as he was doing his lap as you were watching Jay Luke. It was a very tidy lap, but I think he's definitely going to have a couple of attempts left in him to find later on, but that's not bad for these part of the session with just over 6 minutes left to go here in qualifying.
Yeah, just over 6 minutes left to go. There's still a lot of guys who have to set a better lap time. Cam Rules, who was fairly quick on qualifying night, has to set a better time here for sure. He knows he has it in the bag. He's currently 1.6 seconds off the pole lap of Lasse Lorelson as he enters in towards the end of the first sector, almost picking up too much curb there and sending his McLaren round. It's fairly easy to spin around this Miami Autodrome, the track that had 36 simulated versions proposed before this one was created. Some guys will be happy with that result, some guys will think they should have chose one of the other 36. There's an improvement there. That's Lukey gone to, no, it's not Lukey gone to 5th, that is J. Cole gone to 6th on the timing stand. I believe Schnicksel has got a better lap in as well. He's gone to 10th. He's a second off the pole time, which is currently 27.395. Cam Rules has put in a fairly decent middle sector here. It's not the quickest in the world, but it's not too shabby at all. There goes Chris to 6th. It's an Aston Martin 5-6, and they have locked out the 3rd row as it stands, but Lukey still has another attempt in him down towards the final braking zone. It's an all-white helmet for Cam Rules, as you can see, and I actually thought he'd no helmet on for a moment. That's how white the helmet is there. Plain and simple, just like this qualifying lap so far for Cam Rules, heading down towards the start-finish straight. Where's this going to put the McLaren? Well, it's going to improve by 0.3 of a second but it's only one positional change for Cam Rules.
Yeah, you were talking about no helmet delta. That would definitely do a world of good for his aerodynamics, but not sure it's the safest thing to do. But yeah, anyway, I'm just waiting for Waity to get back on track, because he was the victim of the driver's press conference this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on as he's on the track, perhaps. Hopefully he comes back out, but if not, I'll try and make time for it in the race if there's less going on. But there's another time at the top of the chart for Lasse there with 27.1, and there's definitely some cars circulating, and yeah, I have no idea who's going to be polled today, but I can't wait to find out.
Now, Lasse's looking fairly quick up the top, but we could see another attempt by some at the bottom. Of course, we've no time for Keke, we've no time for Rich Allen aboard. Fatality could set a better time as well. He's currently 2 seconds, apologies, off the pole. I'm sure he wishes he was only 2 tenths off pole at this late in the session. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go around the Miami Autodrome. Lasse will probably not get another run in, so he's got his lap in early as the Dutchman. We'll have to wait and see what he does. Cam Rules is heading back to pit lane, but other than that, we have absolutely nobody on the lap. Meaning, what better thing to do than have a read of some pre-race interviews. Schnicksel said the track has some tricky parts where issues can occur, but overall there's a lot of straights, hopefully something where I can't lose too much time. He says he's no season's goals, really. He's just looking to get some good results and have some banter, and I suppose that's what racing is all about, really. Just have some banter while you're driving extremely fast cars around an extremely fast track. But his teammate Fatality is teeing up a lap time as he enters in under the Miami Bridge. As we believe Rich is going to start a lap here. Let's go on board. He's the first man to start a lap as Lasse goes into the pit lane. Here comes Rich, starting his qualifying lap. He's the first man to go for his final attempt in the session, entering turn number 1. Which can be a real messy corner. I'm not sure if there was any first lap incidents in any of the other tiers, but I've certainly seen them in different leagues. Was turn 1 causing chaos in P4, Matthew?
Not as much chaos as was possibly expected, but there was an incident or two going on, yeah, but I'm sure it's got to be sorted out later by the appropriate people. But Cam's had enough of the session. He's retired in the pit lane there, so he will start no higher than 12, but back to you for the lap you're on.
Yep, no higher for Cam Rules. He's better out of this one early. Mightn't have got another run in anyways. Rich heading down towards turn number 11. We'll see what his lap time is doing. We've no task system today, unfortunately, so we can't tell you how his sector times are going. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, and it is one of the Alfa Romeos. I think it might have been Fatality who... No, I'm not going to make that pun. That would be horrible to start the season, but... Fatality making a mistake in sector 1. He'll still have enough time to get another lap in, but Rich is not doing too shabby here. He could definitely improve on his 15th place as he's heading down towards the final braking zone of turn 17. Flat out, you can hear the Alpine roar as he brakes really late into this hairpin, but he's got it nailed almost. Heading round the final corner has Rich. Here he comes across the line. We'll see where it puts him. It's a 27.1 currently. He's going to be a bit off it, but he goes to 9th, so not overall, not too bad for Rich. Colin Mason has invalidated his final run. J. Cole still pushing on his. He's doing well. J. Luke is 1/10 of a second up, but he's had a bit of a slide as we've just cut on board with him as he enters in to the corners where he was struggling a lot of time in these corners for him. He hasn't did as bad a job as he did on his last run. There's going to be a bit of a slipstream as well off one of the Scuderia Ferraris. I believe it is Owen Wyatt who pulls over to the left hand side, does not want to give a rival car a slipstream. J. Luke, though, as we said, set the first lap in the session. Can he set the best lap in the session? Final braking zone now for J. Luke. Into the final corners now for J. Luke. Past the Hard Rock Stadium. Keke will start the first race of the season from last. J. Luke doesn't improve on his lap time as that's Nick in the wall. That is Nick in the wall heading through turn number 3 and 4. Nick has had a big accident there and he will not be improving on his lap time.
No, he certainly won't, but someone who definitely should be now is waiting across the line into provisional P4, but there are people behind him.
There goes J. Cole. J. Cole the second. Wow. Lasse hasn't made the line for his final run. It's all up to Owen Wyatt. Could he take first pole position of the P2 season. Heading down towards the back straight, he's going to get some fantastic track conditions. Down towards turn number 11 is on wide as he heads down here. Let's see what he can do. He needs to put in the lap time now. It's a real high pressure situation very early on in the season. Brakes for turn number 11, gets it hooked in well.
Definitely.
Here we go. Oh, slightly misses his brakes as there is YT improving to 5th. That's a good qualifying result for the Williams. That's a purple sector 2 for Owen White. He's improving by 1.36. He will beat J. Cole as it stands, but he needs a lot more if he wants to beat Lasse to take the first pole of the season. The Scuderia Ferrari man down, braking just at the 100-metre board, get the car hooked in. He's kept that car straight for as long as possible. It's a unique driving style, but it's the one that belongs to Owen White. Does the pole belong to Owen White as he crosses the line? The Ferrari, but no, it's a front row, it's not pole, and that is going to be qualifying. It is Lasse who starts the season from pole position here in the Miami Autodrome. Owen White will line up along second. It's an all Ferrari powered front row. J. Cole will start from 3rd with Nick. I suppose he's been saved a little bit. He had that accident, but he'll still start 4th, so it's not the worst result for the owner. And that is a very interesting end to qualifying, but overall it's a hefty margin for Lasse.
Yeah, it's definitely a hefty margin, but if you look between, there's not that much between the positions behind Dan as well. 2nd and 3rd are pretty close, 4th, 5th, so close as well, and that pattern goes all the way down the field as well until you get to about P13, and I don't think there was representative times there as they had earlier issues and retired early. So yeah, that's first qualifying session of the season in the books. How will the race go?
Well, here is your qualifying results. It is the Danish one. I said Dutchman earlier. I meant to say Danish one, but we'll leave that one on pole position with a 27.198 ahead of Owen White in 2nd. J. Cole starts the season from 3rd with Nick in 4th. JMYT in 5th, followed by Wait in 6th, who again said his name wrong. It's the first race of the season. J. Luke in 7th, followed by Lukey in 8th. It's an Aston Martin 8-9 with Chris in 9th. Colin Orr Mason in 10th. Rich 11th. Cam Kimom in 12th. Schnixel 13th. Camerals 14th. Fatality 15th. And Okeke not getting a lap on the board in the end in 16th. But it was Lasse who took the opening race, in the pre-season race in Spa ahead of J. Cole. So the pace is clearly there, but quickly, while we wait on the race, we will run you through the sponsors. Matthew, I don't know if you have them open.
Yes, I do. I
do too. So Matthew, I'll give you the honours.
Okay, thank you. The sponsors and partners we have here at One Hub Racing. Our first sponsor is Next Level Racing, who sponsor the league by providing the prizes, and Pure Sim Gear, who sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with the most combined poles and fastest laps. And then we have a new sponsor here, Gamergoo, who sponsor the league by providing Gamergoo samples to trophy winners. I hope I get a trophy because I really want to try that. It looks really cool. And you have the partners of Vespertine, who support our championship prizes. ERT partner, the ERT Going Get Stuff Award, and the league trophies. And finally, we have SimGrid. We are powered by SimGrid and run our seasons through their community and platform, and we have all the standings and results in one sleek, easy to check place, and it makes it a lot more easy than having several tabs open for a race. So thank you to the wonderful partners and sponsors, and of course, I'd like to thank the Tasman, who puts all the tabs in place. Unfortunately, it's not working right now, but hopefully we will get that sorted for next time.
Hopefully we get it sorted for next time, and of course fantastic trophies and stuff. They were designed by the fashion designer Tiffany & Co. Now that will mean something to some people. I have no idea about fashion, but they are worth a lot of money. I don't know an exact price, but I did hear they were worth over a few million, the Miami Grand Prix trophies. It's the 77 track to host a race in Formula 1. This is the first ever P2 race around Miami. It's the first ever evening of racing, you could say, in one hub. We've no formation lap, folks, and we are going green in 20 seconds time. But Matthew, quickly, do you have any early predictions?
Well, it depends on the weather and stuff like that, but I think I wouldn't be surprised to see someone from outside the top 10 storm through the fielding and get a podium today.
That's the only prediction from Matthew. We're getting ready to go any time now, folks. It'll be a really quick start. as we are on the grid in Miami. 3, 4, 5, red lights. We go racing for the first time in Miami, and it's a great launch off the line by Owen Wyatt. He could possibly take the lead heading into turn number 1. Here he goes, down the inside. The Haasman, there's a big lunge by Nick in the midfield, and J. Cole and JM, and Nick's around on the opening evening. And that lunge has not paid off for the Mercedes-man. He's down the back in 16th position, and the lead has already been changed. Lass takes the lead off Owen Wyatt heading in to the SS section. Chris with a really early retirement here, and there's the yellow flag out. There is the virtual safety car out, a really early virtual safety car here in One Hub P2. It is the full safety car now, and you can see it on the track map on your bottom right. The full safety car is out really early here in the session, but it's not a good start for both Mercedes, and it's not a good start for Chris, who ends his opening night in turn number 3.
Yeah, well, it's further than some people got down in the P4 tier earlier, so that's I guess that's something to look at. But I think it's just an unknown quantity, really. This track, no one really knows how they're going to get on, so I don't think he'll be too. Maybe I don't think he'll be too upset. But I've just found the price for those trophies you mentioned earlier. Whew, I hope they're insured. That's all I can say.
It's an interesting strategy, of course, in One Hub Racing. If this is your first time watching, firstly, welcome, but it is a two-stopper, a mandatory two-stopper. You can see everybody on the softs, apart from J-Luke. There'll be some very early stops here, but this will help the guys who are looking to make the softs work, because the safety car is out, and yet there we go. Lap 1 pit stop for a lot of people here. JM stays out, even J-Luke. Oh no, J-Luke. Yeah, J-Luke in the pit lane, so that's an odd one. He's getting his mediums out of the way really early. He might go back on them later on in the race, but it'll be JM who leads, it'll be Lukey in second, Fatality third, and Okeke in fourth. And that means the position changes are absolutely crazy, because Fatality and Okeke are both up 12 positions, but that is due to the really early pit stops. And there is the Pirelli Rainbow. It used to be a lot more elaborate, but it is 3 tyre compounds now, all on the grid. And I don't know if you also caught that drift from home wide out of the pits, but that was absolutely beautifully held. It is softs for the top 4, of course, not making their pit stop. Lass has gone for the hards, with Owen Wyatt in 6th, also gone for the hards. J. Cole on the mediums, J. Luke gone for the softs. Wait, gone for the hard compound tyres, apologies. Nick on the hards, he's up to 10th, which that safety car has salvaged him, I suppose you could say, a little bit. Cam K is on the hard compound tyres, with Schnicksel on the mediums, Cam Rules on the softs, Rich, and then Colin Orr Mason on the hard compound tyres. But yeah, Chris is not going to be feeling too good after that crash, as it's not nice to end your opening race on lap number 1.
No, it certainly isn't, but I think it's slightly better than ending it on lap 29.
Very true.
You know, I've done in the past as well, so I can definitely sympathise with him. But I don't know how much he was looking forward to this event. But it's tricky to know what to expect. But the drivers are just doing their things to keep the tyres warm, and both Ferraris, as you mentioned, are on the hard tyre, so that's going to be crucial later as to who comes off them first and what they're going to do. With one stop out of the way under the safety car, they could potentially go mediums later on, about lap 15 or so, perhaps, if that's what they're feeling like. But we're probably going to see a lot more things unfold between then and now.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be the simplest race, as it looks like. Oh, it looks like that is Owen Wyatt and J. Luke serving their mandatory pit stops on lap number 3. This is a puzzling one. They're both going to go for the hard compound tyres, I imagine. And no, Owen Wyatt's gone with the mediums. So J-Luke has played this one, so he can run to the end of this race and not have to serve any more mandatory stops. Cam Rules has gone for the same. Owen Wyatt, whoever gone for the mediums, those are not going to make the end of this race, meaning he will have to pull into the pit stop at some point.
I think he's anticipating another safety car later on. It's a risky game to play, but if it works out for him, we'll be praising him and possibly giving him a Driver of the Day nomination later on, but that's for the end of the race. A lot of racing still to go, but JM is enjoying being behind the safety car, because he can keep these soft tyres for a couple of laps longer than perhaps he was going to.
Yeah, the softs will be quick at heating up. Of course, the tyre warming, I don't know how you found it tonight, but I know from my experiences the tyre warming is not the easiest thing to do in the world, and it will be crucial for the soft guys to keep these softs within temperature range, because those hards of Lass and Wait and Nick and everybody else on the hards will not be easy to heat up. But safety car might be it at the end of this lap. It is the Mercedes-AMG safety car leading us around the Miami Autodrome. Of course, we've no previous winners in one hub around Miami. This is the opener, but it was Max Verstappen who took the win in Formula 1. Will we see the sole Red Bull of J. Cole win tonight? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to go racing again on this lap. We'll have a second restart here on lap number 3, and we'll get to see who really has the pace advantage, because there was no real demonstration of pace. The safety car came out on the opening lap. But it is a very fast circuit. It may not be a fast lap time, but 71% of the lap distance is taken at full throttle. It's just over 50% of the lap time. But it will be JM who lead us away from the first safety car of the P2 season here in season 21. The Williams Racingman is going to go racing here in Miami. He's got a launch on Lukey, but Lukey's kept with him. There was a bit of a gap between Lukey and Fatality here, but Lukey has got those soft tyres on the Aston Martin roaring and ready to go behind JM, and it looks like we're all clean in through turn number 1. There's nobody really making any moves, all keeping it quite timid. There is, though, the poleman who has gone round, I believe. Lass is round at turn number 3. He's not got the tyres heated, and that is a big error for the man who was on pole position. When it comes to crunch time, he's been the one who's crunched.
Well, yeah, exactly. You said tyre warming was tricky, and there is the prime example. Person on pole cannot heat their hard tyres up, and they are notoriously tricky. Although we had a lot of rain over in the P4 tier, so we didn't really get to extend our tyre warming as well as this. But yeah, it's going to be a fascinating battle between the two at the front at the moment to see who can get the jump and who's going to see maybe bail first and go to the mediums first, see if they have an undercut advantage. Watch out for that.
Making a spot on Colin or Mason here. J-Luke up to 12th now. We've seen him make some errors in qualifying, but he's recovering well from those. He said he was slow through the middle sector, but there's got to be a right scrap up the top here between JM and Lukey, the two men on the soft compound tyres. Lukey is closing in on J-Luke. Might just have that pace advantage. But the one thing that's crucial in motorsport is track position. J-Luke making up another spot. He's flying here in the opening race as Owen Wyatt gets past Schnicksel, and it looks like his teammate Kamke is going to get past Nick. Nick struggling on those hard compound tyres compared to the Ferrari man in front, but Nick is going to have a run on the Scuderia Ferrari in 7th position in front of him, and he's going to try. No, not close enough. Thought he was going to look for the inside there, but Nick is just going to have to sit behind the Scuderia Ferrari for the moment. Keke is pressuring Fatality, who has dropped off the leaders very early here. He's going to be struggling on those soft tyres. Looks like Owen Wyatt has got a tremendous move done on Nick, but no, Nick trying to fight this one back, almost coming together, the two. Nick just backing out of the right opportunity. He doesn't fancy taking a third trip to that inside barrier in the opening 5 laps in qualifying. He's dropped off a little bit now, but the tyres of Owen Wyatt will be much quicker at this stage in the race. Here comes Keke, going to try around the outside on the fellow Italian car of the Alfa Romeo, and who's going to get the job done latest here? It's Okeke who breaks latest on the brakes. Fatality hooks to the inside, and J. Cole is looking to get involved in this one as well. J. Cole finished second in the pre-season race, apologies, and he's looking comfortable here on the medium compound tyres. Will be able to stay out much longer than these guys in front of him, as there is a swap for the lead here. The two leaders side by side down the back straight. It's the first battle for the lead we've really had in this race. Here comes JM. He's holding the inside, defending the spot from Lukey in the Aston Martin, who breaks the latest. J. Cole making a move in the background as well, forces the Aston Martin the long way around the outside, but he's going to get the switch back on the Williams, and here we go. We're side by side out of the final corner, side by side through the high speed chicane, and Lukey is all over the back of JM. Sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's not going to be close enough for a dive into turn number 1, and some could say that is absolutely excellent defending by JM, because he looked like a goner down the main straight, or the back straight, apologies.
Yeah, it's quite okay. There's definitely
fatality round. Fatality, our lowest soft runner, is around and in the wall, and the safety car has been brought out for the second time in this Grand Prix. He's not out of the race, he does have front wing damage, but the safety car has been brought out for the second time in this race, and this will give the soft runners an opportunity to pull into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's very nicely timed, I think. They can just have a deep breath and think about what they're going to do for the next 3 laps, how they're going to get their presumed medium tyres up to temperature and up to speed, and see what they're going to do. See if they're going to try a different kind of restart from the last time to try and keep Lukey guessing, as he had a great restart the last time. You're going to have to try and think about, would you switch up and see what you're going to do the second time.
Yeah, the one thing about One Hub is it always promotes these interesting strategies, and we're certainly not slowing down on those here in Season 21. Akeke has backed off a bit from Lukey, and now there is a new rule brought in, I believe it was brought in about Season 16 here or there, where you can only let your delta go to plus 5 seconds. It's to avoid major backing off if there's a championship battle or whatever and a safety car, but Akeke, he'll still be in the clear here. Oh no, he's completely missed his braking. Oh, that's a horrible moment for Akeke. He's completely missed his braking heading in to turn 17 under the safety car, and now he's dropped the 7th spot. And is he going to make a pit stop? He is, so that's really not gone well for the AlphaTauri. But wait, we'll lead the Miami Grand Prix ahead of Kamke, and then it will be Nick in 3rd spot. So this has not played out too badly for Nick, considering he was the first man to take a spin in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's worked out quite nicely for him, considering he was facing the wrong way around at about turn 2.5. But yeah, he's certainly having a great race to recover, and he's on the hard tyres, so provided he could get them up to temperature again, he can maintain that for another 10, 12 laps or so, and then maybe with the lighter cars, maybe risk some softs to the end. We don't know how it's going to play out, but that is what I would be thinking about in this situation. If there's no threat of rain, which it doesn't look like there is, but we can't be 100% certain at this stage.
A beautiful view of Hard Rock Stadium there. Of course, the track was proposed in October 2019 by the owner of the Hard Rock Stadium, Stephen Ross, and that is why we are surrounding that absolute state-of-art stadium here in Miami for the Grand Prix, the 11 different locations to host the Formula 1 race in America. It's certainly a feat of engineering, is that stadium for sure, but the track is not liked by a lot of people. It is liked by some, but we're having a decent race here. We're on lap number 7 out of 29, and the pack is almost bunched up again. We are waiting on Fatality, who unfortunately did have that spin around in the opening sector to bring out this safety car. But he's almost bunched up now, and thankfully we still have 15 runners in this race. It was Chris who we lost on lap number 1 for Aston Martin. He qualified 8 on the grid, but it was a DNF heading through turn 3 was why we lost him, and I think we might just get one more lap under the safety car. Fatality is only catching up now, unless it's a extremely late call which would catch out a lot of people here. It's no, safety car will be staying out for another lap.
Yeah, for a brief second I paused then because I thought I saw the lights go out. I was like, uh-oh, here we go, but no. It's one more lap, and we will be racing next time around. They will be restarting, I imagine, so I think the drivers will be aware of that fact, so they could just plot the next half a lap or so very carefully and then begin preparations, as they will back off from the back of the safety car once they see those lights go out.
Thank you to everyone tuning in. We have 20 viewers tuning in now. Let us know in the comments your thoughts of this race. And of course, if you're interested in joining One Hub Racing, feel free to tune into our Discord, or tune into our Discord server, more like join our Discord server, to join in. I've said it wrong again. We'll have a third try, folks. To join our Discord server. And you can join the leagues, of course, powered by SimGrid. You can check us out on there as well, and the website, and of course the YouTube and the Twitch. The P1 tier will start at 8:30 later on, ladies and gentlemen. It starts in 3 minutes, in fact, on Twitch. You can tune into Liam and Jamie over there, but if you're sticking with us, we're delighted to have you here, and welcome along if you're just joining. We're here in Miami. It is White leading the Miami Grand Prix under the second safety car of the race, and will definitely be in this lap, although something has happened to Cam Rules because he is at the back of the pack.
Yeah, that's something that I missed as well. But I was going to say, I know someone boxed a few laps ago when the safety car just came out, but I think I would have imagined that he would have caught back up. So he must have had a small incident on this lap. I don't see any damage, so I think he's just had. Oh yes, I do. Now the camera angle's changed. He has no front wing, and that's why he's so far.
That's what has caused camera rules there. But safety car's in this lap, so that's really unfortunate for him. It's happened at the complete wrong time. Wait is going to get us underway. So while one McLaren is triumphing, the other is suffering. It is McLaren versus Ferrari here. It is a very shuffled up order from qualifying, but that seems to be what we are getting here. It'll be Wait who leads us away as we go racing here in Miami. The McLaren gets us away as it's a real shuffle at the back. Nick is under pressure from Schnitzel here. This is going to be the real battle into turn number 1. The Alfa Romeo and the mediums has got them absolutely lit up down the inside of Nick. No, Nick breaks the latest, but he's J-Luke on his outside, and this is going to be a right scrap down towards turn number 6. Nick is seemingly struggling on these hard compound tyres because he has Schnitzel right behind him. And no, Schnitzel cannot get close enough. Can he gain through turn number 9 and 10? No, he's not quite close enough. He will get the run. There's a big move here by JM. Oh, there's a car round and it's the pole sitter. It's Lasses. There's chaos here in the middle sector. There's a lot of cars going slowly to avoid that collision, but we are still at full racing speed, and there's a real kerfuffle here. Still at full racing speed, folks. J. Cole trying to move around the outside of Lukey. Lukey, who was leading this race at some point. We're 3 wide down towards turn number 11. It's J. Cole, Lukey, and Owen Wyatt. Owen Wyatt sends one down the inside of J. Cole. Lukey runs wide of the corner, which is what happened there, and Owen Wyatt has got a spot out of it. So has Lukey. J. Cole has suffered there. He is down to 9th spot, but there was a real chaos there, as unfortunately Lass has ended up at the back, as so has JM, and Akeke, I believe, has come out with that worse for wear as well.
Yeah, I was on board with Lass as he was having the incident, and I didn't really see what kicked it off. I couldn't really see it, but I think it's just one of those races. I think it's maybe tyre temperatures or something after the restart, because it happened the last time, but I think he may decide that he's had enough of these. J.
Cole into the pits, so something happened there. He's picked up a bit of damage from someone. Locks up entering the pits, but that is an unplanned pit stop for the Red Bull for sure.
Oh dear, it's gone from bad to worse.
No, but I believe this might be a retirement in the pits for Lass, but no, he's carrying on, he's soldiering on, so we'll have to see how that one ends up. But the poleman has really not had the best of opening races here. He took pole, but sadly has not done too well in the race. Schnitzel is still on the back of J-Luke. Of course, he was on the back of Nick, but through all that kerfuffle, we lost sight of it, and J-Luke has passed the Alfa Romeo. So J-Luke seems to be the man to beat here. He's the man making all the moves, and as Matthew said before, we could really see someone from 10th or so charge onto the podium with just how shuffled up this race actually is.
Yeah, and I don't think we're anywhere near close to being done with that either. There's definitely a move going on there for fatalities. Just gone past Richard.
Oh, there's a crash that's on the circuit that's heading through turn number 8. That is Lass, who's gone, the poleman. It doesn't seem like we've brought out a safety car. We're still going to stick under green flag running for that, but that is 2 spins at the same corner for Lass, and that's his race over. There was a battle for the lead between Cam and between Wait. Here we go, down the main straight. DRS has been enabled. We haven't really seen DRS much in this race. We have had safety cars when we were expected to see some moves. Lukey sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1:31.1. Of course, there was point available for the fastest lap in the top 10 and outside the top 10, but Lukey has got past Colin or Mason. Lukey flying on these mediums. He is right on the back of another medium runner of Schnitzel. There's Cam pressuring Wait, heading down the back straight here. He has the DRS now, and he's able to use it. He'll charge and close in on this McLaren, but is he close enough for an overtake? We'll have to wait and see as he's heading down. towards turn number 11. It's going to be late on the brakes possibly for Cam. It's not close enough as Waite defends the inside, but that's going to become the outside fairly quickly. And no, there's no move gone on there. Akeke is close to Rich, but there'll also be no move. Oh, he's hit the back of him. Oh, it's Kai. He's hit the back of him, and Rich has gone round. The Alpine has been tapped by the AlphaTauri. Akeke either missed his braking or broke too late compared to Rich, but Rich has been sent spinning, and that is really unfortunate for the Alpine. There's another move here, and Lukey has got past Schnitzel. Lukey's absolutely flying as he was almost a second off the back of Schnitzel. There's another overtake for the lead here as well. Kamke gets through with the DRS, and that is Okeke, who is gone, heading through turn number 16, I believe, under the bridge, and Cam's made a mistake out of the final corner, so we're going to have a scrap down towards turn number 1. On lap 12, it's going to be Waite down the inside of the Scuderia Ferrari. Who breaks the latest? Waite breaks the latest, and he's hooked in on the inside, still side by side, but no, the Mclaren gets the better exit. Colin or Mason's got the move done on Schnitzel, so Schnitzel is really struggling. He may have picked up some damage here, because he's dropped behind Owen Wyatt and Colin, so something's gone on there, but the Alfa Romeos are now running 8th and 9th, with Schnitzel losing a lot of spots.
Yeah, it's all kicking off apparently right now, but I don't think we're anywhere close to being done, and that's definitely Waitey is in the lead of this race at the moment, and I said I would try and come back to him when we have a moment, but I don't think this is the right time to talk about his driver's press conference, but we will try to get that before the end of the race, maybe as results are being finalised perhaps, but there's a lot of wheel-to-wheel action going on, and that's just the way we like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Battles left, right and centre as Nick is closing in on this front group. Waite is leading for McLaren as we are now on board looking at the driver down the main straight. It is Cam who is behind, one of two Cams in the tier, both spelled differently, but here he comes. The Ferrari man is going to charge in the DRS, and there is another swap for the race lead. Ferrari breaks the latest, pushes Waite onto the outside, tries a switchback manoeuvre. It's a difficult corner to do it in, but he'll have a go down towards turn number 1. Will the Papaya Orange McLaren, two very famous coloured cars battling for the lead, and a modern favourite right behind the brakes late. Oh, he's almost charged into the back of him, and that's a big mistake by our former race leader. He's now in second as Okeke's gone off at the final corner again. We've seen he was struggling under the safety car actually with his brakes into that corner, but he struggled with it again, and just like Waite, they've both missed their braking. Nick did not get past the McLaren, but it gives Kamke a bit of breathing room at the front of the race.
Yeah, breathing room is what you really need to do, especially when you're not really sure of your surroundings. Well, they will be becoming quite familiar, but there's still nose to tail, and that's brilliant to see.
Here comes Waite. Is he going to try the inside or the outside on the Ferrari, or will it be a back off? Absolutely not. He's going to try down the inside with a bit of a lunge, but Cam breaks the latest. You have a bit of runoff on the outside there, which you can run on side by side through the narrow section. We're going to head into the extremely tight chicane now. We're not going to stay too wide through there, unfortunately. I'd love to see it, but I fear it would not be the best result, as Nick is ready to pounce. He is like a lion in the jungle, waiting for his prey to move. He's just waiting for a collision between these two, but everything has been kept relatively clean so far. Lukey has arrived on the scene on the mediums. He's actually under pressure by Owen Wyatt, so the mediums are dropping off fairly quickly and breaking into the final corner. It is Lukey and Owen Wyatt side by side. Owen Wyatt is forced around the long way, but who gets the traction? Lukey gets the traction, and he'll stay ahead for the time being, but this is not over, folks. Down the main straight, that is Schnitzel who's gone round, or is that Fatality who's gone round? It's Fatality who's gone round, because Schnitzel has entered the pit lane, and Lukey's made a mistake, and that's going to allow Owen Wyatt possibly through side by side through the quick S section, heading on to this short straight, and it is Lukey who loses the spot to Owen Wyatt. That is disappointing for Lukey, but he made the mistake there and he allowed Owen Wyatt through.
Yeah, Owen doesn't need a second invitation to get an overtake, and he's definitely taken that with both hands, and you see there just on the outside. I'm sure if you would do
here
that.
Here goes the battle for the lead here. Sorry to overcut there, Matthew, but there is a scrap for the lead, and Waite is going to go for the race lead heading in towards turn number 11. There is another Alfa Romeo gone round at the back, but Waite takes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix once again. Cam is pressurising. He's actually had a little bit of an error through that section, but he will definitely get another go. Cam rules has had an off at the back. So has Fatality, actually. They've both had a bit of an issue at the back, unrelated, I believe. But oh, we have a right train here down the straight as J-Luke is looking to pressure Nick into an overtake. Owen Wyatt has cleared off Lukey, and he's looking to pressure J-Luke, as there is going to be another battle for the lead down into turn number 17. Gamke down the inside on Waite, and Waite is going to try and hold this one round the outside. These two are scrapping like there's no tomorrow. Unbelievable racing between the McLaren and the Ferrari. It'll be the Ferrari who prevails on this occasion, but we are just over halfway through this Grand Prix as there's actually been a bit of contact, and the Ferrari has had to go off the track because he was tapped by the McLaren. J-Luke has gone around the outside of Nick in all of that, and Owen Wyatt is getting involved as well. Him and Nick make contact. Into the wall goes Owen Wyatt, and his race ends early in a major incident with himself and Nick. The safety car has been brought out, but that is a horrible ending to what was going to be a great race for one of the Ferraris.
Yes, it was definitely sad to see. There was some brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing going on in midfield there, and it's unfortunate that someone that's got the pace to be up there is now unfortunately going to be watching the second half of this race from the sidelines. But he's had a very promising start to the race, and I was starting to think about questions I was going to ask him perhaps later on in the stream. He's driven quite bad. I think it's just one of those things. A tap in the wrong area of the track, and all of a sudden your wheel falls off. But great battling from Owen there, and unfortunate to see him out of the race. But we're down to 13 drivers.
Down to 13, and Matthew, I'm just going to ask quickly, because you've more experience in these one-hub conditions than I do. What did the front guys do? Did they pit for different tyres, or is it just stay out and go to the end?
Yeah, that's it. I think if I was in the lead of the race, which is never going to happen, but if I was, I would certainly box this lap and put on the medium tyres and go to the end if I have to, and I think that's exactly what Waite is going to be doing. I think it's a little early to try the soft tyres, but if anyone can pull it off, these guys certainly can.
I think it's a little bit... Oh, Lukey stays out in the mediums. That might be a good thing there. I believe a lot of people haven't served their second pit stop. That's the thing here. Lukey is one of those. He's not served his second pit stop, and he does still need to make one. All of these guys, apart from him now, will have made their mandatory pit stop. It is 2 mandatory pit stops in one-hub racing in all conditions, wet or dry, not just the one which you have in Formula 1 and all the other leagues. It is 2 mandatory pit stops as we're just over halfway. We have completed 15 laps. We're on lap number 16, and we still have, as Matty's been saying, a lot of racing. This one is not over yet, but we'll run you through the tyres quickly. There they are up on screen now.
It's certainly getting interested out there, and hards at this stage of the race is, I mean, if you're out of options, it's probably okay, but I don't know. Like I said, it's too early for the softs, but I think it's too late for the hards in a weird sort of flip around. So yeah, good luck to those on fresh hards. They can definitely go to the end, but will they have the performance in them to challenge towards the top as this race goes deep?
I think Waite is has a brilliant chance of winning this one, as well as Cam and Nick, because they are on the mediums, which can definitely make the end at this point. Lukey still has to make a pit stop, but he'll be looking to go for the soft compound tyres towards the end of this race. Obviously, he expects that we're not going to get green flag running for the remainder. As it's a bold call, but I suppose, as we said, if it works, we'll be calling him a genius. Of course, Owen's strategy was certainly working until he had that incident. We have 3 retirements. We have Owen Wyatt, we have Lass, and we have Chris, who are 3 quick drivers. So they will have an influence on this championship for sure, but no influence on the result of the opener. Lukey, he's got to stay out for sure now. He's committed to it. That is going to be a result. We're waiting on a couple of drivers to catch up from the back of the pack, and then we will go racing again.
That we certainly will, and I think this is probably a perfect opportunity to go through Waite's. We've mentioned it a couple of times, but he's...
Oh yeah, let's run through it.
The driver's press conference, which, you know, he was asked, how do you think you'll do? And as people are starting to acclimatise to the new game features, handling, etc., how does he think he's going to get on? And he's replied, he's not too sure about others, but initially he has really struggled with the handling to begin with, but he's starting to feel more confident with the game in general, which is what you want to do. When you come to a race, you want to be confident with it. He would like to see himself around the top 6, but there's a lot of really good drivers in the division, so that will be a task in itself. While he's definitely in and around the top 6 at this stage, but he's definitely looking forward to getting started. So that is what he had to say in the drivers' press conference before the race started.
Yeah, of course, the driving press conference is a key part of the One Hub Racing week, and it's another element that we love. And if you'd like to love it, you can join One Hub Racing by joining our Discord or checking out our SimGrid page, I think it's called. But you can check it out on simgrid.com, who are proud sponsors of the league, as we run all our systems on that. It makes life much easier for us.
Yes, it certainly does, and if there's, you just go beneath the video and the Discord link is in there, and all it in there is all the information you'll need to get started. Perhaps come and race with us, perhaps if you think you're quick enough to come and take part in this tier, then definitely join. And there's 4 tiers in which you could be racing in, so hopefully we may see you on our grid in the very near future. But we are about to get racing once again, and hopefully that is the final safety car of the day, but there's still time for more.
Hopefully it is, but Lukey will be hoping it isn't, because he's going to lead us away for this safety car restart. We can see he is up 7 positions, so definitely if he can win this one, a definite driver of the day nominee. Still has to make a pit stop, but we go racing once again around the Miami Autodrome, and he's got a launch and a half on Waite here, but Waite has the much better tyres and will close in. Nick is attacking the Ferrari in front of him for the podium placing. Nick, of course, the most experienced driver in One Hub Racing, didn't manage to take a podium last season. He'd love to start differently this season. There's some moves on here. Schnicksel and Rich and Okeke and J. Cole. J. Cole, current holder of the fastest lap, as we can see the aerial shot. These cars are going everywhere. It's almost like a Formula E race with the chaos, some could say. J. Cole trying down the inside of Schnicksel. That's an unbelievable overtake for J. Cole. He's proving one of the better racers in this tier here in this opening round, as Okeke is pushed wide by Schnicksel. But he will get the run on Schnicksel now. Looking at that Italian coloured rear wing, he'll want to be past it, as he's actually tapped the inside wall, has the AlphaTauri. Under pressure from Cam Rules, the eSports Walesman is going to try around the outside. And is he going to try and get both of them here? He's gone for the lunge on Schnicksel. Unbelievable move from Cam Rules up the inside. They're making a bit of contact entering the slow section, and Schnicksel has to back off. But unbelievable stuff from Cam Rules to take the both of them down in towards turn 11. Up the front, Waite has caught up to Lukey after his fantastic safety car restart, and here we go now. Waite is going to go for the race lead. Lukey defends the inside in towards turn number 17, the final braking zone on this magnificent Miami Autodrome. Waite has turned in almost a bit too early, and he's almost hit the Aston Martin. He's forced the long way around the outside. Can he get the traction? They've actually made a bit of contact, a bit of wheel banging, have the two front runners. They've been battling up the front as well with Cam all race. It's going to be around the outside for Waite in towards turn number 1. It's not going to be around the outside for Waite, because Lukey defends the inside. It's going to be a switchback move for Waite, and Lukey is making that Aston Martin as wide as a London bus.
Yeah, that's certainly what you need to do in these conditions, but of course it's very difficult to know if Ferraris have damage, because front wing's black anyway, and sometimes you think there's no front wing there, but then you see that it is as the camera angle changes. But I've completely lost my train of thought. But I'm
glad I'm not the only one who knew that about the Ferrari front wings, because I always thought they had no front wing a lot of time either. But here comes Waite. This is a battle for the race lead. He's going to try around the outside of Lukey. We've almost 10 laps to go here in this Miami Grand Prix, and Waite is going the long way around the outside of turn 11. He's going to try make it work. He has made it work. Unbelievable racing by the McLaren man. That is fantastic stuff by him to take the lead of the ERT Miami Grand Prix in the opening round of the P2 tier. This one's not over yet, folks. Lukey still has another page in this magnificent book. heading into turn 17. But can he make it stick? He still has to make a pit stop, does Luke, so he needs another safety car for sure. He's going to try around the outside possibly, because Wait defends the inside. He's forced the long way around the outside, a move Lukey has did on multiple occasions. He's got all out of shape out of the final corner, and he's now under pressure of losing his podium. He's going to drop to third surely on this straight, as it looks like J-Luke's gone round. J-Luke has gone round at the back, and there is the safety car that Lukey so wanted. Or is it just a virtual safety car? I think it could just be a virtual safety car here. There's no sign of the safety car coming out of the pits, and if it's a virtual safety car, that's even worse for Luke, because now he can't pull a gap for the remainder of this lap.
Yep, it's 100% a virtual safety car. You just saw the signs on the right hand side of the track there, and Taz says the virtual safety car. Taz is working now.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have Taz.
Yeah.
I could have just read it off there.
Yeah, virtual safety car is now out, so that's bad news in one respect for Lukey, but great in another, as that he can just take these tyres a little bit longer towards the end of the race, although he's running out of laps in which to pit. But I think he will want a full safety car. But looking down the order, you have Lukey's the only one that hasn't made the mandatory second stop yet, but you have Cam in P9 who's on 6 stops for the day.
Yeah, that's a bit too much.
Yes.
A little bit too much, but Lukey does not have long left at all. 85,000 yards of asphalt were laid to create this circuit. Although it is a street circuit, it isn't really, and I think we're going to be going racing pretty soon, because the guys are starting to speed up. The virtual safety car has been out for almost a lap now, and we're going to get ready to go racing, I believe, anytime soon. There we go, DRS enabled. Nobody has fallen to a drive-through. 1 minute and 26 seconds was the length of the virtual safety car. Wait has made a bit of a mistake out of that final corner, but he's burning some battery to keep that place. Has there someone gone round at the back? It's a Keke who's gone round at the back. Oh, and his AlphaTauri teammate J-Luke is into the pits after causing that virtual safety car, I believe. So it's all gone wrong for the AlphaTauris. Of course, the top 12 do score points in one hub, but that's only one of the drivers who can score points, I believe, at this stage in the race, as Nick is really pressuring Lukey now. Lukey's tyres are starting to fall.
Yeah, he'll need to get the softs on in the next couple of laps, but of course he's going to wait as long as possible, as we've said. Although he doesn't have much longer left, the medium tyres are coming to the end of their lifespan. But of course, points down to P12, and of course, fastest lap points inside, and of course outside the top 10 here in one hub racing. So you could, in theory, finish 15th position but still get a point for fastest lap. But at the moment, the fastest lap outside the top 10 belongs to Fatality in P11.
Speaking of outside, Nick just went round the outside of Lukey to put himself on a one-hub podium once again, and Cam rolls. The man with lots of pit stops has gone past Rich. Rich is on much better tyres, so expect him to fight back. Wait set the fastest sector 1, but Cam has set an absolute belter of a middle sector, the fastest of all. He's flying behind the Mclaren, and the DRS is certainly helping him. This is going to be a mighty scrap to the end of the race. These two have been ultra clean all Grand Prix in their moves, as there we see in confirmation of Rick trying that move on Cam Rules. He's gone down the inside. Excellent overtake by Rick in the Alpine. Cam Rules is not done with this one though. He wants another go down the inside of Rich, and that is a yellow flag for a Keke once again. J-Luke is going to attempt to go for that fastest lap. He has the pace to do it, it seems, on the soft compound tyres. We'll keep you updated with that one, ladies and gentlemen. He has not set the fastest sector yet. Fatality actually set a really fast middle sector on his last lap on the 7-lap old hard compound tyres, but it's less than a second that separates the top two, and it's less than a second that separates second and third.
Yes, and if you...
Oh, here comes Cam. Here comes Cam. He's got an absolute run on the Mclaren man, and he's going to try around the outside for the race lead. Wait has braked much later than the Ferrari, and the Ferrari will sit behind for the time being.
Yeah, I think he's quite happy to sit behind the previous section. He's not going to try anything rash, anything foolish, or anything foolhardy. And he's just going to try and sit behind and get DRS at the end of the lap and try to overtake into turn 1. Of course, ERS is an issue for some of these drivers, as you see Cam K is on 8% now, and I was looking at another driver who are at 6%. So yeah, it's definitely...
Here comes Cam, up the inside, in towards turn 17. It's a classical move tonight in One Hub Racing, is the dive into 17. It's worked out for Cam, and it now gives him the lead of the season opener in Miami. Wait is going to attack back. Nick is involved in this one as well. Lukey has given up the ghost, and he's finally in for his second mandatory pit stop.
Yep, that's certainly correct there, but I was going to say that if you have these guys battling each other, they're going to hold each other up a little bit, and that could bring Colin, Mason and JM into the mix as well for a potential podium fight. As they hold each other up, the gap behind them is going to continue to fall within a second, and that means there's a big DRS train for the podium, and that could get very exciting in the final few laps.
Yep, that's confirmation. J-Luke's having the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but Waite is going to go for another move. He wants the race win here in the opening Grand Prix of P2 Season 21. Down the inside for the McLaren. Oh, he's had a bit of a weave in the braking zone, almost lost control and piled into the Ferrari. But no, he's not lost control. He's taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Nick, once again, just like earlier, sitting behind, ready to pounce on these two. There's a mistake from Cam. Bounced over the curb way too much there. And one thing I've just noticed, we do not have a single time penalty yet in this race.
No, we don't, but if commentators consider anything to go by, you're going to see about 6 of them.
Oh yeah, we'll
shortly.
see a lot now, obviously, because I've said it, which is fantastic. But Cam, not close enough on this occasion for his classical Cam turn 17 dive bomb. He'll have to wait another lap for that one as they exit 19. Wait has had a run there, and the top 3 all separating out a little bit, and JM has caught up with these now. He's involved in this battle for the win. It doesn't look like we're going to get another safety car, as a bit of a field spread around, but still some battling going on. Lukey could still fight for the top 10 if somebody has an incident somewhere, because he's only 6.1 seconds behind Schnitzel.
Yes, the gap is always continuing to fall, but he's definitely going to have an opportunity to gain a couple of positions in the final few laps. But Lukey is flying on the soft tyres. I wonder if he's going for fastest lap outside the top 10 with that force change, or is he just trying to maximise his potential?
Here we go. Cam is really close on the McLaren, but White brakes much later. There's the time penalty, by the way, folks. It happened. There's the time penalty. I shouldn't have mentioned it, but no move on this occasion for Cam. Nick still sitting behind. He hasn't tried a move yet in this race. He is just letting these two scrap like cats and dogs and then go for it, but he's under pressure from JM behind. So if Nick does have genuine pace, he needs to start making moves soon, as Cam is closing in. He's closing in. The Ferrari's going to go for it again. Down the inside on the McLaren. And all race long, these two have been scrapping. But this is the first time the Ferrari has really missed his brakes. And Nick is going to swoop up the inside, just like he's been waiting to do for the entire Grand Prix. Waiting to swoop in when one of these makes a mistake. Cam did the block pass. A famous move in more MotoGP, you could say. But it's almost worked, as Wait just about closes in on Cam enough to not hit him. Nick is pressing behind these two. JM is pressing, and J. Cole is pushing and pushing to get within these. Lukey does set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 29.8. He'll pick up the point for the fastest lap outside the top 10. He's not quite in the top 10 yet, but he gained 3 seconds on Rich during that lap. Here comes Wade, trying another move on lap 25 of 29. Oh no, Nick is gone! Nick is out of the race, and we haven't even seen it. The safety car has been brought out with 4 laps to go. Nick is in the wall and will end what could have been a 9th One Hub Racing win. He'll end it with no points.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened. Perhaps he's got a little bit too wide on entry or exit or something, but I'm not 100% certain what happened. But all I do know is Nick Egan is now out of this race, unfortunately. He was flying, and he was definitely waiting for that move you mentioned. Definitely lined it down the inside. Maybe he tried it a couple of laps too early, but the chat says he's the exit curb on turn 7.
Oh, that's so unfortunate by Nick, because he could have taken a podium. He didn't take one all last season, and he'd love to be back on that Miami podium pedestal. but it wasn't to be, and here we go, all pitting for the soft compound tyres. Look who doesn't need to pit for the soft compound tyres. Lukey, it's worked out from here. Taking his second pit stop late. He's not going to jump everybody, I don't think, but now we have the race on pit lane. We'll see who gets out in front. This is going to be an interesting one. Cam gets out in front of Wait, JM and third. It seems like they've all about kept in line, because of course you have to do the pit stop yourself. But here comes Lukey, flying past them all. Schnitzel has actually stayed out here. He's gone. You know what, I'm quick enough on the hards. I can do it, as Lukey will come out in 6th position ahead of Colin or Mason and behind XLJ Cole. So keep an eye on Lukey, because he has been quick all Grand Prix, but Schnitzel is now going to get a few stat padding race leading laps under his belt, because he has stayed out on the hard compound tyres. We're going to go racing fairly quickly here, folks, because we've got to have at least 2 laps of racing before the end of the race. That is just the rule set by the game. But Matthew, you said we'd see someone outside the top 10 charge to the podium. Currently, we have a lot of people outside the top 10 who could charge for the podium. Schnitzel, of course, started this race from 13th. Cam started from 12th.
Yeah, I like to say sometimes even a broken clock is right twice a day, but I just had this feeling in my bones that it's possible to do that here, as there's an element of the unknown, and if you're careful, you can be in exactly the position that Schnitzel and Cam find themselves in, P1 and 2 respectively, with a few laps to go. Safety car should be probably in this lap, I would imagine, so that's a couple of laps left of racing for them to battle for the lead, but of course Waitsy is on a good position there as well, but who's on the better tyres? You would have to say Cam probably has the slight advantage at this point, but I don't want to say too much because commentators curse and all that, but Lukey in B6 knows all about that.
1984 was the first time Formula 1 had 2 races in the US. It was the last time before 2022. This season, season 21, is the first time one hub will have 2 races in the US. Of course, the ERT Austin Grand Prix on the 23rd of September. But next week you can tune in to the ERT Spielberg Grand Prix in Austria, followed by Interlagos in Brazil, Imola in Italy, Budapest in Hungary, Barcelona, Spain, Austin, America, as we said, on the 23rd of September. And then on the 30th of September we head to Sakir for the season finale. You don't want to miss any of them, folks. You can tune into the ACC League as well, and you can tune into all our other tiers. When we're finished here, folks, P1 is still going on the Twitch. You can tune in there, but you don't want to miss this, folks. Stick with us here. We're going to have an almighty scrap for the end of the race, just like so many one-hub races have ended. It'll end in classic fashion. Matthew, I know we don't like commentator curses, but who is going to win this one?
Alright, I'll say it. Cam's going to win today. That's Cam in P2, not Cam Rules in P8, although he's got a chance as well.
There's a possibility Cam in P8 could win this. The way this race has been going, anything could happen. But Schnitzel, he's going to have to become a reincarnation of Fernando Alonso or Sergio Perez or whoever you feel is the best at defending in Formula 1 if he wants to win this Grand Prix, because not only does he have to defend everybody on softs, he also has to heat up the hard compound tyres, which are not fresh, they're old hard compound tyres. So I did about a billion equations in my head, and every single one says Schnitzel will not win this race, but this is one hub racing. Who knows? We're going to go green this lap, folks, as we head in through the slow 14-15 chicane. You can see the orange sausage curb, which has caught out a few drivers on a few occasions on the inside, and you're under the Miami Freeway Bridge, a beautiful freeway in and out of Miami. But the fastest road is this one. This is the main straight, where top speeds of 324 kilometers an hour will see you out of a lap that sees an average of 40 gear changes. Meaning,
that doesn't sound a lot, but
it doesn't sound a lot. It really doesn't sound a lot, but it is correct, I believe. Well, I secretly hope as well, because they're my notes. But Schnitzel is going to lead us away in Miami. For the final time, we have a 2-lap shootout, and we are going to go racing. Schnitzel leads his way to start the final 2 laps of the opener here in season 21. Cam is the man with the better tyres, but Cam is the man under pressure from weight, and it looks like J. Cole, the man with great pace all Grand Prix, is trying round the outside of JM, the man who we said could have a chance of winning. Cam Rules has unfortunately spun to the back, and Schnitzel is really struggling on these hard compound tyres. He's under pressure from the Ferrari behind him. The Ferrari needs to get this move done very quickly and make Schnitzel his brick wall. J-Luke has retired from the session, and Cam has had to break early because of Schnitzel in front of him. It's now a dull evening over the Miami Autodrome circuit. Could weather play a part in this? Everything's played a part in this Miami Grand Prix. Cam has got to try up the inside of Schnitzel. A Ferrari engine versus Ferrari engine, but soft compound tyres will prevail for Cam. He leads into turn number 11 on the second last lap. Wade has gone for a big lunge up the inside of Schnitzel. He's ran wide, missed his braking, and J. Cole is attacking for second place now. Schnitzel is falling like a large stone in water. We're side by side to 14 and 15 over that sausage curve that we were talking about, and Wade is now fallen from second to third, and J. Cole getting that move done there might have possibly given Cam a wonderful opportunity to win in One Hub Racing. Wait, doing the outside possibly into turn 17. It's a classic move his rivals have did on him all day. It's not going to work for him. Schnitzel is going to have to back off as he's been punted wide. He's been punted wide, and Schnitzel's evening has ended horribly as he's almost in the wall. Alfa Romeo are having a horrible time. Wade trying the move possibly into turn number 1. It's the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix. It's been a splendid evening here in One Hub Racing, but this is not over just yet. It is not over until the first car crosses that start finish line. J. Cole is pushing like an absolute madman to win in One Hub Racing once again. The man who drove an Alpine for all last season, moving to Red Bull in P2. He's in P2 at the moment. Can he take P1? He's got a much better launch than Cam. Down the straight, Nick has left the session. It's a purple sector 1 for J. Cole. This could be his second final opportunity to take the race win for the inaugural Miami Grand Prix in One Hub Racing. Cam has got a launch down the straight, burning all his battery. He only has to defend one more real overtaking opportunity. That is into turn 17. These two could be scrapping until the start-finish line to end this Grand Prix. What has been an amazing Grand Prix, but J. Cole wants something better than just an amazing Grand Prix. He wants a race win. He's going to go for it. Who gets the better exit? Cam certainly gets the better exit. There's no DRS to play here in One Hub Racing because it's the final lap. We had a safety car just 2 laps ago. Cam is going to be able to defend this one. J. Cole is not going to be close enough. The Red Bull will finish second in this Grand Prix. He'll just finish 1 position short of a fantastic opener, but the fantastic opener will go to Cam, who wins in One Hub Racing from 12th on the grid. Cam wins in Miami. J. Cole finishes second with the fastest lap. Wade will round out the podium in third. JM in fourth. Colin or Mason will take fifth, just like he did in the pre-season race. Unbelievable racing to round off a brilliant evening here in One Hub FP2.
Yeah, all I can say to that is, wow, what a race that's been, and we've got some very hard decisions to make very shortly, but we will run down the provisional order. I didn't see much going on that would negate the steward's attention, but you never know what we may have missed. There could definitely be a change on that, but we will see the provisional results very shortly on your screens. Ooh.
There is the podium. It's the American who wins in America, and that is a brilliant home win for the Ferrari team. Well, not for the Ferrari team, for the Ferrari driver. But an unbelievable way to open a season that was. The championship is still wide open into round 2, obviously. It'll be wide open until the second half of the season, as the podium is being sprayed. And we got to think about our driver of the day nominees. It's going to be a very hard choice. But here is your full race results in Miami. It is Cam Mom 152 who takes the win ahead of J. Cole and Wait in P3. JM finishes 4th, with Colin or Mason finishing in 5th. Okeke in 6th, followed by Lukey in 7th. Schnitzel in 8th. Fatality in 9th. Rich rounds out the top 10 with Cam Rolls in 11th and J. Luke in 12th. Your non-finishers were Nick Race Egan, Owen Wyatt, Lars Lawson and Paul Sitter, and Chris, who unfortunately did not make turn 5. But we got to pick driver of the day nominees. Matthew, who are you going for?
I think I am going to take the man that came from outside the top 10 to win the race, and that is, of course, the Ferrari driver of Cam. And the question I would like to ask him is, did our words at the top of the stream inspire you to this victory, or was that all just down to great tyre management?
I really don't know who to go for. I think I kind of have to go for Wade for just providing us with that amazing battle. And my question to him is going to be, how did you keep up and do the moves for so long? And did you feel you could win the race after making some great overtakes? But that is an unbelievable Grand Prix, Matthew. Any final words to say about that one?
Well, if we have this every week, I think we're going to have a magical season here in One Hub Racing.
It's going to be certainly an excellent season, and you do not want to miss any moment. If you thought overtaking was great around Miami, be sure to tune in next week where we head to the Red Bull Ring in the Styrian Hills for what should be an exceptional Grand Prix. My name has been Evan Dalton. I've been joined by Matthew. Thank you very much for tuning in, and be sure to check out the P1 tier currently running on our Twitch channel with Liam and Jamie. Thank you very much, folks. It was an unbelievable win for Cam, but can he do it next week? There's only one way to find out. Stay safe and stay well.